Just to show I mean business. Look, dressed in all black today. Does that mean I'm cool now? So the other week, I was sitting in class. I had a sub, and usually whenever that happens, nobody does jack, and the class becomes free hour. So I decided to go to the library, see what was going on there, maybe do something productive. Then what do you know, in the library, some dude was giving a presentation. I didn't get to see it because, I was like in the background, and I only caught like the end of it. But after that, he was getting autographs, and my philosophy with autographs is get the autograph first and find out who they are second. And here we are, Nathan Kotegi. Koteki? I like Koteki, so we're just gonna roll with that one. So after that, he turned out to be an author, so he seemed cool, I got his autograph, and I guess I had to get his book. And here we are. Everyone, this is Social. I am your kind/unkind host for this review, and today we'll be looking at The Suburban Strange. So here it is. Goddamn sticker debris. So yeah, The Suburban Strange follows a girl named Celia. She's kind of your everyday introvert. She doesn't talk much, she doesn't show any personality externally, and she puts all her emotions into her drawing. But then she meets a girl, and the girl adopts her into her clique, which is otherwise known as the Rosary. Which is a high school clique so strong it needs a name. A name. And basically they are the different kids. They like alternative music, wear alternative clothes. They're really alternative. Preferably black clothes, by the way. And soon after that, as things typically go, things start to become strange. Get it? Strange? No? Fuck it? Okay. Girls on the eve of their 16th birthday are suddenly injured. We're talking electrocutions, broken bones, nosebleeds, we're talking the whole works. But basically anything after that, spoilers, but let's just say it dips its toes into the supernatural a little bit. But basically my biggest problem with the book, and this is to say with a lot of books, it takes too long to get started. We're talking hundreds of pages here. It's nothing against the book, it just goes to say something about me, the reader/viewer. I think I, along with a lot of people from my generation, just want to cut to the chase and cut out as much filler as possible. Left to right, the meat of the story, then done. That's not the case with this book, but I will say the first 2/3 didn't bore me as much because it had a lot of strong world building and character development. Speaking of characters, let's talk about them. Our main protagonist, Celia, was okay. She did her job, she was independent. I found her relatable in some ways, but she wasn't amazing by any stretch, but she did her job, okay? Then we go into the Rosary, the clique of cool kids led by Ivo and twin sister Liz. Neither I thought were that interesting. Ivo I could picture easily because he was the leader of a clique, and I know leaders of cliques like that, and I could picture him easily, but beyond that, he didn't have much of a personality. And Liz was the most forgettable. Like, I didn't find anything interesting with her characters. She was just kind of another member of the group. Then we have Marco and Brendan, and they were the most fun to watch in the entire cast. They're the ones most interested in music and clothes and the other members of the group, so I enjoyed hearing their topics. Their scenes were more fun and humorous to be in, but they weren't the cliche comedic relief characters that just throw in a joke for the sake of it. They were just fun to be in because they were fun to be around. And I also like their romance a lot too, because it was more interesting than the other ones. And finally, we have Regine. Regine? It's one of those names. I've made a couple myself. Like, you write it on paper and it looks awesome and there's nothing wrong with it. But when you say it aloud in your internet video, you look like an idiot. She was just another member of the Rosary. She was interesting enough, and she's mostly just classified by what happens to her within the story, okay? That's about it. I do want to note that most of these characters have their own high school drama within the story, and that helps you identify who they are and what they're doing, and they all have their own little arcs. And they're also very realistic, I will say that. They each have their own realistic point of view. Then we have the supporting characters, starting with Mariette. She was my personal favorite character, and she was the most fun to watch, and she moved the story along in terms of plot more than any other character, even the main character, Celia. Then we have Tomasi. And the moment I saw him, I threw up a red flag. I was like, nope, because the way he's introduced is basically Celia's in this club and they're just staring each other down. They're just staring at each other. They do this for days, and I was just like, no! I've seen too many paranormal, supernatural books where this isn't gonna end well. The creepy I devote all my love to you YA books. They are abundant. Luckily, however, this isn't that at all. In fact, he's kind of awkward. Which again adds realism. I know a lot of relationships that are in that kind of sort of first date category and just kind of hopscotches around the line of awkward and not awkward, you know what I mean? And again, he doesn't feel that important to me. I kind of feel like the book thought it had to have a romance to attract that teenage YA demographic. But other than that, he's just another character, but I will say there's nothing wrong with it. And every other character I can describe as which one of you is the bad guy. It's one of those guess who's the bad guy stories, so basically every side character I was just interrogating within my mind, and at one point I was like, no, I'm 150 pages in, I already guessed the bad guy, I don't know shit, I'm done. Then I was wrong, I didn't guess the bad guy at all. And as nice as it was for the story to not be predictable, it didn't feel that very fulfilling. Don't get me wrong, the last third of the book where the plot really starts to pick up, it was incredible. It was worth the rest of the book completely. But that being said, the ending, the very, very ending, I was like, whatever, we're done. Let's move on to Pull Down the Night, shall we? But one of the most unique things about this book is its references to real-life music, which I didn't realize till the end of the book, where it basically says, oh, by the way, all the chapter names are named after real albums, and all the music I listed, yeah, that's real. It just kind of flew over my head while I was reading, because whenever I need to make up media like a movie or something, I'll just make up a movie title and that's it. I was even at one point like, that sounds like the name of a real band, this guy's good. But as a person who just chords music upon music, I'll have fun looking through each of the chapter names again, writing down all the music that is going to be listed and Pull Down the Night, and hopefully collect as much as possible. The music horde shall live on! And with all that being said, the Suburban Strange gets a very warm 3 out of 5. With that being said, please stick around after the credits for a spoilerific talk with me about the book. Please subscribe, and with that, I leave you. Hi everyone, welcome to the spoiler section of the review where we talk about spoilerific things and events, and you'll excuse if the lighting is a little bit worse quality than usual. It's about 2 a.m. right now, and I just finished editing the first half of the review you are watching now, and I guess I'll just dive right into it. The Suburban Strains. First off, this cover art. Good job, whoever did this. I don't want to look through the flap right now and find out. So, just good job, whoever you are. Who should we talk? Mariette. I want to talk about Mariette first. Her death I did not see coming. Nathan killing my favorite character. Not cool. I guess it, once Celia's birthday's passed, I should have expected it. That was the last date for anything to happen. And she was also being so confident, of course, she's not going to actually be able to survive. She's being confident, her last will and testament, that was a little unbelievable. Like, even though I'm completely confident I'll be okay, just in case I die, it was a little far-fetched, but it worked for what it was. Who else? The teacher. Let's talk about the teacher. I know his name. I just don't want to pronounce it because I know I'll get it wrong. Basically, the way I envisioned him, just because I didn't see him coming at all. Like, I thought it was gonna be the boss or maybe like Thomas I's parents. That's who I was expecting. That are a member of the Rosary. I expected Regine, whatever. I expected her. But no, it was a chemistry teacher, and basically the chemistry teacher, I basically was just described as, just a hard teacher. So for some reason, I put in my math teacher, who was the hardest teacher I had at the time I was reading, and basically my math teacher's not a very threatening guy. He's like kind of short, and he has a small like gap in his teeth, and he's funny. So when it turned out the killer was a the chemistry teacher was a murderer, I was like, no, I don't want to picture my math teacher drowning teenage girls. And I like had to like force myself not to like have that imagery. I had to get a new idea in my head to make up the chemistry teacher. See, I keep saying math teacher because I'm picturing my math teacher. What else? Mariette's unpronounced love for Celia there. That I thought I saw that coming. I think it hinted at it earlier, and I was like, oh, somebody might have a crush, and I was right. Basically, the only other thing I can think of offhand is like what I'm expecting for Pull Down the Night, which I haven't read yet. I have a copy being shipped to me on the way right now, but I think I'll get a copy from the library just so I can speed along the process for the next review. Half our cast is gonna be gone. Like Ivo and Liz, I don't give a shit about, but which one was it? Brendo or Margot? One of them's leaving, and I don't know how to feel about that. That's scary. I don't want them to leave, but I'm sure it's gonna go somewhere. There's also gonna be a new character introduced. I'm excited to see where that goes. It's a dude. I don't want it to be a love triangle thing between the three with Thomas I and Celia and Bruno, I think is his name. I don't want a love triangle. Now that I think of it, it might be, but hopefully not. I just want, I don't know. The thing about the book is like this book had a lot of like character and world building, and series like I don't know, the Mortal Instruments, like City of Bones. City of Bones wasn't like super interesting to me, but the entire series ultimately was like amazing. But because City of Bones like spent so much time world building and character building, and like we got to see the characters in early stages, so like later in the book it was so much cooler because you've seen how much they've grown. But that being said, it wasn't like super interesting having to go through all that, but going through all that first made the series ultimately better. I hope that's the way it is for Pull Down the Night. Now that we have everything set up, we can just have a straightforward, get to the chase book. But I don't know. We'll see, won't we? Yep, that's about it. I can't think of anything else. With that being said, Suburban Strange, pretty good book. Right there. Pick it up somewhere. Excited for Pull Down the Night. I will see you then, guys. With that, I leave you.